It is obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but by our skills with a lightsaber. Surely you can do better. I've been looking forward to this. I've become more powerful than any Jedi.
Welcome to yet another episode of Build the Millennium Falcon. This episode is dedicated to the fantastic Christopher Lee, who we lost this week. That lightsaber battle at the start of this video, he was in his early 70s when he was doing those. An amazing man, and a great loss to cinema. I was a big fan, as you can tell. So that's why this video is dedicated to him. So for now, let's have a look at what comes in issue 22 and issue 23. And here we have the pieces out of the bag. So we've got more of the corridor cushions with very odd weathering on this one, actually. Very liney. Might have to dabble that with black paint to get rid of the lines. We also have more of the metal hull work. We got the screws and the 4-piece there and the 2-piece. No, the other way around. You know what I mean. I can't count. I'm moving that to one side because that's very embarrassing. Go away. Go away. Right. Yes. Cushions. Oh, you can tell I'm with it this time, can't you? The cushions. Now, I made an absolute mistake last video. All these cushions were meant for one side, and they were meant for the side which they are not on. They were meant for this side. So all of these 3 cushions here should have been along here, and these 3 skinnier bits should have been at the top of these, because these skinnier bits run flush to the top of the edge here, whereas these skinnier bits, as you can tell, are not as skinny as these less skinnier bits. I'm going to stop saying skinnier bits soon. So I had to peel these skinnier bits off. I did say soon, I didn't say straight away. Off this side to attach them onto this side. Now I can't attach them onto that side without putting the cushions in from this issue. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Here it is, all put together correctly at long last. So how it should be at the end of this is this side here should have the parts flush to the edge, like I said. But this side should have the cushions slightly raised, as you can see there. I think because when the roof is on, you'll be able to see into this wall, and this will be kind of the exposed wall, but I don't know because I don't have that part yet. Like I thought, the piece which I put on wrongly last video, which was this one, his counterpart does fit very neatly into there as well. So not much else to say for these parts. I might weather them up a bit. You can see all my kind of shavings. Look at that, from where I've been filing away the bits from the sprue. There you go, it's a bit better. Yeah, not much else to say. That's how it stands for now. I'm going to get rid of all these shavings and crack on with the next thing. Just a little something before I do crack on. All the cushions on this sprue have not been used, as you can see. There are 4 left over. They will come into play a little later, so keep them safe where you keep the rest of the Falcon. I'm sure you've all got suitable boxes or shelves or whatever you have. Now, make sure you keep these safe. They will come into play at a later date. Now let's take a look at what comes in issue 23. Now, in my overzealousness to get started, I went ahead and painted and put stuff together before I'd done this part of the video, so sorry about that. The parts we get in this issue are more metal framework bits, screws and connectors and bolts as always, but they've gone elsewhere, and also the roof of the corridor that we've been working on the last few issues. This has been painted up already, again sorry about that, and also we've got the little connecting ring, and they're drying very nicely on the latest part of the jig. So while I wait for this to dry, let's put this part together along with the part that we got, earlier. But before I get going on that, I just want to point out a little error that I have made. I left one of the 2-bit connectors into the framework without the proper support. It was just kind of on its own, supporting the framework, and it has dented a bit. It has warped. So there is a very real danger that if these are left unsupported, they will warp. I'm going to try and straighten it out the best I can. Yeah, just be careful. Don't leave these parts unsupported for longer than they have to, otherwise this might happen. Okay, let's go on with the build. And here it is all done. It's getting a little bit too big to fit into frame actually. You can see how the circle is expanding now. We've got this side bit here really coming in. Next issues I reckon we'll have it all connected to the circle bit in the middle. Yeah, the warped one I fixed. I heated it up with boiling water and gave it a little hammer, screwed it the opposite way around, and I think that will be fine. Yeah, a nice little addition to the Falcon. One thing that I will do is I will start storing this in the meantime separately. So I think I'll probably take it apart here and have this frame part here separately so that the warping doesn't happen with these pieces. Until there's some plating on this side to support it, that's what I'm going to be doing. But of course, that is what the jib is for. Finally understood what this thing's all about. So when it's all complete, and I'm saying now, D'Agostini, please, please, please just start throwing these pieces out because we need them. When it's complete, to be able to hold the Falcon in place while you store it, no chances of things warping in the slope pattern that it needs to be, something along those lines. Of course, it's going to slide off because it's not completed. Just hold it in place while we build on it and other parts come in, and also that will stop the warping and things like that. So this tube, I think, is going to be quite essential in upcoming videos. But that is what the framework looks like when it's all finished. And just one quick thing I want to show you, even though we've got no connecting, I'm reaching around the shop, professional. Even though we've got no connecting screws yet, I will just very quickly just pop on the plate work there. And once again there, I think I did this last video actually, and you get to see it all coming together. So there we go. So I'm going to take this part apart now and store it like that. And that's the bottom of the Falcon. So now let's move on to finishing off this corridor. This roof part here is now dry and painted. I might repaint it so it doesn't look like it's made out of Play-Doh. Not too sure how that effect came out. But I will look at that later. It's got the familiar grooves here for the cushions that were left over from this sprue. So I'm just going to cut these out and pop them on there. Like so. So those are the cushions all in. Once again, fitting very nicely to the grooves in the main part. So let's just bring in the rest of the corridor. What I've done is I've glued in the rest of the archways and the thin strip part here on the connecting archway point. And then this very simply is the roof of this part, which will fit on something like that. I can't do it one-handed, so I'm just going to cut and resume. And this is the corridor all finished. Now there is a little bit of an issue here. A cushion is a little too high up, so I need to file that down to make sure that connects properly. But as for everything else, it looks fantastic. I'm going to weather up the cushions a little bit later. But you can really see now that when you take away whatever top plating part shows this would be the part that's seen, obviously. And what a thing to look at. It is very, very nice. Very nicely done. So we just bring in the first corridor part here and connect it just like I've shown you on previous videos. This time I'm going to screw it all in properly though. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And voila, we are done. So this has been a few weeks in the making, this corridor part, and considering it comes over a multitude of issues, it all fits together very snugly. You can see there that the pegs for the archways fit into the holes nicely. Not that nicely actually, maybe that's part of the problem where I can't close it. I'll have a look at that in just a moment. But yeah, it's very nice. It's definitely the corridors of the Falcon. A bit of a glaring screw there, but that'll be covered, or I could paint that over. Everything else is fantastic. And like I say, considering we've been building this over the last, I want to say 8 to 10 weeks, maybe less, the precision of the model making is exquisite. It all fits together perfectly, and I'm very happy with it. Nice little cutaway. Very happy. Very good. Well done, D'Agostini. Well, now that that's done, there's only one more thing left to do, really. And that is to put it on the blueprint, which you already have done. So here it is. This is the Falcon as it stands at the end of issue 23. So with regards to the X-Wing project, shipping has been a bit of a nightmare, but that should be with me in the next couple of days. So I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Take care. Bye-bye.